Let's see how this works. Hey there. Okay, yep. So let's... Hey there everybody, my name is Daniel and I am going to build hopefully what is going to be an entire working website for a challenge we have called the Straw Challenge. So if you're following along, messaging YouTube, on Twitter, whatever, so we're going to do the Straw Challenge. What the Straw Challenge is it's just a simple item by the Smart Hub in Rockhampton, Queensland, here in Australia, to see how different people market a product. Some people will be using Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, and I've had the honor of trying to figure out how to do it on Twitter. So what we're actually going to do is, instead of just throw up a website and blast it out to people, we're going to try to do something a little bit more fun. What we're going to do is the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to build one website that is just going to be for our progress. So we're just going to buy a domain really quickly. I'm going to walk you through this entire process, set up a WordPress website, and you're going to see everything on my screen as we go through this process. And the second thing we're going to do is, our challenge is actually to sell these bamboo straws. And the bamboo straws are great for the environment, great for boba tea, other items. And we're going to see if we can get people to somehow buy these particular bamboo straws. They're reusable, they come in a set of 4, and I'll show you those later on after we build this first website so we can start building a community. So we're going to try to sell straws. And this is where I need your help. These straws are going to be about 12 Australian dollars, and they come straight to your house. They're shipped same day if you order before noon, Australian Eastern Standard Time. And they come with a nice little case, and then they also come with a cleaning brush for it. So we're going to try to sell the straws, but we're going to try to do it different. And I've got a couple ideas for that, but I'm going to ask you how we should do that. I don't think we should just put up a website and be like, hey, here's some advertising dollars, buy this item. Let's try to engage a community and see what we can do. But number one, let's go ahead and build a website. So the couple things that I do as I build a website, and I'm using a couple tools today to showcase the process, and one of the favorite tools that I use is called Switcher Studio. So you'll be able to see this both on YouTube through the link that I have posted in Twitter, and just follow along and we'll see what happens. But to build a website, we need a couple easy things, and this is going to be low cost. It's not going to be overly complicated. I'm going to walk you through it. So the first thing we need is a domain. So what we're going to be buying is strawchallenge.com, and then we're going to hook it up to our hosting and our email. I use a service provider called Green Geeks. And server costs are pretty much, it's a commodity, but they do something interesting, that they do a 300% green energy purchase for everything that they have in their data warehouse. So that helps keep the environmental friendliness of things going. And the last thing we want to do is we want to build a WordPress. And you can't see that, so let me take that off for you. If we come back over here, take that off. So now you can see we're going to do a WordPress install, and then we're going to use Stripe to let people go ahead and do a quick buy now. And then we're going to come back later on, depending on how long this takes, to see if we can then work on our different way to engage people to do something. So how about we go ahead and build? So I'm stepping out of my computer right now. And again, I'm going to build in public everything that we're doing from start to finish. So I'm going to let you see what I'm doing. Let me go ahead and put on a screen. So first thing we're going to do is we're just going to, and everything, I'm not going to show you how to set up accounts or anything. You should be able to do that. But as we go through this process, you'll be able to duplicate these as you go forward. Let me go ahead and see if I can give you a picture-in-picture, because people like to see other people. So we're going to do picture-in-picture with this nice little tool that we have, and we're going to let this go. Let me take this one off. We'll go with that one. There's a picture-in-picture, and let's build together. So just note in the comments if you want me to do anything, but I will definitely have a way for us to engage. Just send a Twitter message, something like that. I'll be monitoring that as we go forward. So first thing we want to do is we want to go to Namecheap. They're a really good provider of domains, and I've been using them for a lot of different projects that I have, and I've been a customer of theirs for a while. So I'm just going to go over here to the dashboard, and I'm going to come over here and go ahead and log in. Password save. LastPass is a great tool for that. That's how I go ahead and make sure that all of my passwords is synchronized. I don't have to worry too much about it. So I'm going to come over here, and we are going to go ahead and buy domains. I'm going to click here, do a domain name search, and we're just going to buy strawchallenge.com. Hopefully no one's purchased it in the past couple minutes that we've been on this live stream, but you never know. Some people are pretty interesting like that. So it's $8 a year. We're going to go ahead and add that to the cart. And once we do that, it'll give us a little notification up top for what we're doing. And let's view the item, and let's go ahead and check out. And one of the good things about Namecheap is they include this privacy item for you, free of charge. Some domain companies charge you a little bit more for that. I particularly don't like that. I'm going to confirm the order. And so this is just anytime. This reserves the strawchallenge.com for us. And I'm going to take this off screen so you don't see my credit card number for privacy reasons. And I'm going to go ahead and continue that. And as I continue to do this, one of the things I would encourage everybody as you're registering a domain, make sure that you can maintain your privacy, because it's not uncommon that some people will try to solicit you and say, hey, your website's going out of date, something like that, pay us $100. And sometimes that they actually end up taking you for a ride, and you actually don't want that. So just keep that in mind. Privacy is a good thing. So as I go ahead and pay for this will automatically reserve it for us, and we can start pointing it to our next step, which is hooking it up to a domain. So it's hooking the domain up to our hosting, so that whenever somebody types in, hey, let's go to strawchallenge.com, what do? So it is processing. Been authorized, everything that we're seeing, which is good. And payment authorized. Let's see. Oh, let me go back. And let's see. Go back, see if the process worked. So just a second. So we're going to come here, view cart, confirm order. And just a second. continue. And so once you purchase this, and whether you use GoDaddy or something like that, it really doesn't matter. It's just, I prefer some of the features that Namecheap has. They do a really good job from my standpoint. Do pretty good reminders saying, hey, something has lapsed, so you need to renew it. Really big fan of what they do. Okay, so all right, so that has been approved, which is great. And once we do that, we can come over here, and if we come over here to manage, the really cool thing that happens is now we can point it somewhere. And let me show you how I do that. So I have a product or a service that I've paid for. I really like what they do. They're called Green Geeks, and what Green Geeks does is you can point one or more of your websites there, and they do something which I think is really important, which is they're eco-friendly. So they do a really interesting thing where they do the same WordPress hosting, other email hosting that you do, but the really cool thing that I really like what they do is that they end up buying. So if you see what they're doing, no waste of resources, whatever, they match 3 times in the form of renewable energy for what they purchase. So they get a bill for their energy, and then they end up matching it 300% to buying green and renewable energy sources. So that's why I chose them. Pricing is really great. I'll put a link into this in case you want to sign up with them. Really great support service, really fast for what they do. So I'm going to go ahead and just take this off so that I can log in securely, and go ahead and let's log in for that. And then as we're moving forward with this, I'm going to go ahead and go to my support services, and I'm going to go ahead and launch this administration area, which they call cPanel. And most of your providers, whether it's GoDaddy, anything like that, you do have an option for this, and this is one of the things that I look for. So the first thing we have to do is now we have to connect up our domain, and this is what's called an add-on domain. Since I've already have one or more domains, I can say, hey, I want us to add, let's go ahead and add the newest one, which this is going to be strawchallenge.com. And it's going to put it in a particular area for us. That's fine. Go ahead and add that domain. We don't need the FTP, which is file transfer protocol. Don't need anything like that. And so as it adds that, we come over here. And now it's saying, hey, it's been created. So our next step is to come back over here to our admin panel, and a couple of things that we need to do is we need to send the domain to this. And the way that we do this is we go back into the shared hosting, and I'm going to pop back over here for privacy reasons, and I'm going to show you where in the world that they do this. So at least in mine, what they end up doing is they give you this area where they show you let me just remove this display none, so that you can see what I'm doing and not doing. Okay, and I'll come back over here and I'll let you see what I'm doing since I hid that information. So one of the things that they do is they tell you these name servers. Now these have to come over to our domain over here, and we had to come over here to this name server, and we had to change it from Namecheap, and we want to add it to Green Geek. So this is a simple copy and paste, things that are going on as we're doing this. And this is just saying, hey, every time somebody comes in and grabs strawchallenge.com, and we press a little OK area. Now, sometimes this takes hours and hours to do, but since it's a new website, it's saying it may take up to 48 hours. I've never had it take 48 hours. So instead what I do is I just come over here, it's in there, and now all these different hosting providers, one of the things they do in cPanel, if you come back over to your dashboard, mine, you just click over on the on that at the left. Here at the bottom, they have this quick little WordPress install for you, which is pretty cool. All you have to do is, it's a quick install. You could do the quick one, but I always come over here to the custom install so that I see what's going on. I'm okay with it and since we added it before, these are all the websites I have. So you just come over here and we want strawchallenge.com. I want it to be secure. Oh, that's the last thing we have to do is we have to come over here, and in the security, there's an option for us to add a security certificate. I think this is the area. It's been a little while since I've done it, but let's see what we can do. So if I come over here to add certificate, select a service, I get one of the cool things with the with working with Green Geeks is you get free SSL certificates, which sometimes retail for 50 or 100 US dollars. But a lot of the websites will let you do this free Let's Encrypt, which once a quarter, we'll go ahead and update that for you. It's set it and forget it instead of this 50 bucks or 100 bucks per year. So let's go ahead and select that. Straw Challenge, confirm and create. And this is about an 8-step process, and it goes through, automatically does it, what it's doing. So okay, so it's on step 2 of 8. Click on install. Now it's going to go behind the scenes since everything's hosted together, and it's going to grab that. So, which is pretty cool. So step 4, again, takes a couple seconds. This is why it's typically pretty easy to go ahead and do this, no issues. It's quick and easy to set up a website, and that's one of the reasons I want to show you how easy this process was. So if you're following along on Twitter or YouTube or Facebook, go ahead and let me know. Would love to let me know if there's any comments or anything, suggestions for what's going on. Install the certificate, that's great. And now we come back over here to our auto install, and we just want the HTTPS, which that means it's secure. That's great, it's doing some checking for us. And now we come back over here saying it's not there. Installation, installed, that's great. So we come over here and it may not remember that we just did that. So let's do a quick refresh for what we see happening. So we'll come back over here to our custom install. This is what I do. We want that. We want it to be strawchallenge.com. Checking, see if that's there. Notice we don't get the error now. Sometimes a quick refresh clears it. So site name is going to be Straw Challenge. So let's build a website together to see how, let's take the Straw Challenge to sell a bamboo straw set together. Okay, as we do that, admin password, I'm going to take it off so you don't see that. Again, the password generator that I use is called LastPass. It's pretty good. I'm a big fan of that. And English, that's great. And Elementor, I'm a big fan of that one, so we're going to have it auto install that. I'm going to let you see what I'm doing now that I've put the password in there. No advanced options, anything like that, because we're going to see what's going on. Click on install, and once it does this, it's creating a database there in the back end. Sometimes some companies will charge you 50 bucks a month or something for this, but you can see pretty easy. It's saying it's there. It's just letting us know. It's wanting us to tweet it. So why not? Let's tweet this and give them a little bit of love while we're doing this. Just used Go Green Geek. Go Green Geeks, I think, to set up strawchallenge.com. Super simple and eco-friendly for the win. Go Green Geeks, let's make sure that's their handle. I think it is. Go Green Geeks, yep, that's him. Follow along as we quickly build a website. All right, so try for the straw challenge. Okay, there we go. I didn't check to see if that hashtag was used, but hopefully it's not something really weird or awkward. So there we go. So now if we come over here and we go to strawchallenge.com, it should be there we go. So it's saying it's not secure. Not sure why. It was set up to do that. So let's do a hard refresh, which is the left shift refresh. Straw Challenge should let us go there. Let's see, HTTPS. Let's see if this one lets us go. That one is secure. Not sure why the redirect isn't working, but let me try it. This is something else you have to do sometimes, is just checking another browser. So I'm going to come over here into a new incognito or private browsing tab in Safari, and I'm going to go to strawchallenge.com, saying it's not secure, but we can deal with that later on. Let's see if we can figure out why that's doing. Administrative URL, there we go. Let's go ahead and see if we can log in. Odds are, I'm going to change that password because I already forgot what it was. But again, I'm going to use my trusty password generator. And this is always over here on users and all users. And you can come over here into admin. So that's me. I'm going to come over here. And let's see if I can edit the password, generate password, take this off site, and it's a strong password, so that's a good thing. And once I click over here on update profile, there we go. A couple things that I do whenever I bring forward something in new WordPress is I do a couple things, some automatic installs. So under the plugins, there's a couple plugins that I love to install. They do really good. Some of those let us do some tracking and whatnot. So we're going to do Monster Insights is a good one because we want to have some tracking on there. Google Analytics, it's always this purple one. So you go ahead and install. That's a base one I always like. Contact Form 7 is another one. This lets us create really simple forms that let us email, save it somewhere, something like that. And then the Contact Form 7, I'm a huge Zapier fan. And so I always like to install this, and it's called a webhook that lets us send particular items to Zapier and save it to Google Sheets or something like that. So we're going to do that. So I'm going to come over here to our plugins and our installed ones. I'm going to go ahead and activate these. So I'm going to activate Contact Form 7. I always do it in this order. Activate the webhook because they depend upon each other. And then the last one is this Monster Insights for what we're doing. The next thing that I do is we don't quite have Monster Insights, but we'll set up some Google Analytics for there. Let me write that down before we forget it. So Google Analytics. So put that in our parking lot on the whiteboard as something to do. So, okay, so now that we have this, let's see what our public site looks like. So I'm just going to go back over to Safari, do a hard refresh, which again is the left shift key and the arrow, and see if it redirects. It's not. And let's just Google it. So let's check out one thing. The base URL should have been HTTPS. Yep, that's where it is. I'd actually had this one happen before, but we'll figure it out. So if we come back over here, let's see if the other thing that I do is on the settings and the permalinks. I make sure that instead of doing the post as the date and time and everything like that, I just like the slug or the post name to be very human readable friendly, which is like whatever you put in the title. So go ahead and save that. And the other thing that I change off is, because it helps with load times, is this discussion. And I come down here and I turn off avatars so that people can't really log in and update those things. So we're not going to allow people to do new posts. We're going to turn that off. And we're just going to turn these off because we don't want to have anybody comment, because this is just going to be a simple site. So, all right, so there we go. So Straw Challenge. So that one is secure, strawchallenge.com. That one does come over here, but we're logged in. What is a new Straw Challenge? We come over here. That one redirects, not really sure why, but we'll figure that one out later. Okay, so now we've got our domain, we have our hosting. The next thing that we said we were going to do on our to-do list was come over here and set up our email. So the really cool thing that, again, Green Geeks allows you to do is if I come back over here and I exit back out to the, oh, that's actually not what I wanted to do, but that's okay. I'll come back over here to our hosting and our shared hosting, which is the product that I have. I'll come back over to our cPanel and we're going to set up an email address for us. So we just come over here to do email, and then we have email accounts. And one of the cool things that allows you to do is come over here and we can go ahead and create, which is over here to the right. And what we do is the domain is going to be Straw Challenge. There we go. Username, it's just going to be info@strawchallenge. I'm going to have my password generator. Do you all see that if I type it in? No, you don't, so that's cool. So I'm going to come over here and generate a secure password. Copy that. We've got that. Unlimited space. Please don't spam me. And there's this other cool thing that I'll show you how it works, but you can also automatically create folders for things whenever you do this plus addressing. So if you have like the domain info@strawchallenge.com, you can do info plus Twitter, info plus whatever as we're going. So we're going to go ahead and create that real fast. And now we're going to come over here, info@strawchallenge. We're going to click on there. And we should come back over here and add this account so we don't forget the password. And we're going to come over here. And if we have everything, let's see if it lets us do it. So if we go to webmail.strawchallenge.com. This is the cool thing that happens whenever you have an integrated system. info@strawchallenge.com. You can come over here, and if I grab our straw info, this should be our password. If everything's saved, and it did, and I'm going to make it default to opening up in Roundcube. We add that. Again, long passwords we really don't want to do something with. And once it goes ahead and opens it, we should probably see a welcome email. And then the last thing that I do is I always like to go ahead and send a test email. So I'm just going to bring up my my personal spammy email account, and we're going to, let's just pop this thing out, and let's see how the world reacts. So we're going to come over here in our compose and our spammy Hotmail, and we're going to do info@strawchallenge.com, testing inbound email from Hotmail. This is a test. We go ahead and send. And then if the world cooperates and all that jazz and fun stuff, we press refresh. In a minute or so, once the internet comes together, we should have our website going. Okay, so that's the email setup. So we've done that. So on our list, we said we were going to set up the domain, set up the hosting, install WordPress, and get our email going. So our last thing to check before we actually make the WordPress website a little bit pretty, and I'm going to show you that. Let's make sure it doesn't go into junk. And we're just going to let it sit there, and it hasn't bounced back to Hotmail just yet. Okay, let's refresh. And there's our inbound email. So there we go. Okay, all right, so there we go. So we've got that going on. So that works, okay, fine. So we've actually met our domain, our email, our hosting. We've installed WordPress. Now we need to make WordPress a little bit friendly and a little bit pretty. So the tool that I use for that, I like a website called Elements by Envato. And this is an Australian-based company, I believe. And for just $299 or $199 a year, you get unlimited access to stock video, stock audio, stock images, graphic templates, little drawings, stuff like that. But the other cool thing that they have is that they have this these WordPress plugins, code-free websites. Ooh, template kits. That's interesting. We may have to look at that. That's new. So we're going to come over here, and we're just going to come over here to our web templates. Oh, and actually we're going to go to WordPress, and let's just do something for startup. I have no idea what's going to show up as we look with this. So what are we going to do? We've got a template kits. You know what? Let's actually glance at that. That may be our fun thing to do. If we see anything that we like, that's a restaurant. We really don't want a restaurant. Template, interior template kit. Does it really matter what we're doing? Let's just creative digital business. Let's do this one. This looks startup-y, like what we're going to do. So we're just going to make a quick website that allows us to document the progress that we're having, and then we go forward from that. So I'm just going to download it. I have no idea what it does. So this is going to be one of the things they do for licensing on this is they make you have a project so that you can tie back into the licensing rights in case somebody comes after you and says, hey, that's actually my content, something like that. Not sure what this template will do, but let's work on it together. That's sort of the fun. So once it goes ahead and downloads, something I've noticed with this and any template, go ahead and open it up, unpack it in Finder if you're on a Mac, or on Windows Explorer if you're on a PC. And what we see here is that we have this particular help. I always find it helpful to glance at what they're doing. So this is the template kits, troubleshooting. how to use and import from Envato. So how to use template kits. Let's see what they have us do. Page Builder, we've got Elementor, how to download it. We've got it, so click here to download the plugin. So on ThemeForce, you can download and unzip the file and import one at a time. So let's just do this. Let's see what their plugin says. I have no idea what it's going to do. So let's download this template kit import. So we come back over to our Straw Challenge admin area, and we're going to come over here to our plugins, add new, upload a plugin that they just gave us, drag the file to the choose file. That's a quick little tip and trick. Anytime you see that, you can drag it, activate plugin, and now let's see what happens. So now we have this templates. Let's see what's here. I don't know what's here. Import template, choose file. I bet you anything that file that we had for this soft up, we can just click and drag there and let it go. Import now. Not sure what's going to happen, but let's figure out together. Waiting for strawchallenge.com. It should be importing. Let me get rid of this so we can see the progress bar. Waiting. You can do it, computer. That's what we like. And again, if you're following along on YouTube or something like that, be sure to just let us know, service unavailable. Now we get to see what's going on. That means the server is busy. Just a second, let's figure out what's going on. Oh, that's not what I expected to happen. Well, this is where the fun gets to happen. So we did that. We'll come back to our admin. And let's come back over here to our plugins and see if anything needs to be updated. Elementor, let's update it now. Why not? And let's come back over to our templates and see what we have. No templates there, page, section. So nothing's there. Let's import templates. Let's try this again. Choose file. Let's click on it instead. See what magic happens. So we're going to, that was in our downloads. And scroll to the top. That's what it is. Open. Import now. Upload 99%. Waiting. It should be unpacking that and adding everything so we can access it. But if it's giving us a 503 error, we have to pull the log and see what it is. Or we just move on to something else. I would say we just move on if it doesn't typically work. Template kit. Let's make sure. Pre-designed starter templates. There's probably 5 different ways to do it. Let's see. No templates found just yet. Waiting. I think it's going to give us another 503. Ooh, the type footer does not exist. So it got a little bit further than it did before. All right, let's see what happens if we do this. I think we're just going to move on. No time for this because we got to, oh, no, there. So we've got a couple of them. Not really sure what it's doing or not, but let me show you how it actually works. So the way Elementor, and let me go ahead and I've got a pro account, so I'm going to go ahead and activate that so we unlock a couple more features for what we're doing. Let's go to my account. I think I've got an unlimited thing for this. Elementor, we've got that. Nice password manager is coming in and taking care of that for us. Log in. And once we do that, let me take this off. Active installs is 2. Let's come back to this. Let's come back to our WordPress admin. Come back over here. We click there. Straw Challenge dashboard. Come back into our Elementor and settings. We should be able to go ahead and, since we have an account, it should let us come in here and activate it. Let's see where it is. Go Pro. I've already got that. Let's see, settings, plugins. It should let us okay, we don't want that. Let's see how, I would have thought it would be in settings. Let's see, Go Pro. I don't need to be redirected. It doesn't take your design to the next level, but I've already got it. I don't need to do that. I've already done that. Hold on, let me take this over here for a second. View websites. Well, the answer is I don't know how to do that. Usually it just prompts you and says, hey, you need to do it. But let me try one other place. Maybe it's in the plugin settings. Let's see if it's there. Installed plugins. Let's go to Elementor settings. Advanced. Huh. Thought for sure it would tell you to let's Google it. How to enable Elementor Pro. Google's our friend in these particular circumstances for what we're doing. How to install, we've Elementor Pro. Oh, I bet I know what we have to do. I bet we have to go to the Elementor website and download the Pro. That's what you have to do. Download plugin, that's what we have to do. That's what does it. Yep, sorry, yep, I thought they would just let you put your license key in, but they don't. So now we're gonna come over here and we're gonna go back to our plugins, add new, and upload plugin. And I just downloaded it from the other screen. Oh, no, that's not what we wanted. Why did it do that? Plugins, we want to upload plugin, choose file, and I just did the Elementor Pro, which is going to be here. Install now. And let's see how the Twitterverse is doing. Again, we're building in public. And once we activate that, it should come over here. And Elementor license. Please connect and activate. I'll take this off screen for privacy. Let's see, connect and activate. Elementor Pro, activate. Okay, there we go. So now we have some more features. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to think about how pretty we want to make this website. What I like to do is get a little bit of inspiration, and the way that I do that is I come over here to Envato Elements. We had an option for what we were looking for before, that we were doing a startup, and we were looking in the WordPress templates. So we can change it from all items, go to WordPress, type in startup, come down here and let's see what they are doing. I think the one that we were doing is, I don't remember, which is fine. Let's just look for inspiration. Starcom, sounds great. We can also look in our download history. So if we come over here to my downloads, we see all the different things we've done. So SoftUp, that's the one that we did. So let's see what their templates look like and then go from there. So we've downloaded, we see a live preview. What I like to do is just look at a website and say, hey, what are they doing here? Take those big items and then bring them over to what I'm doing. So it looks like right here, they've got some type of logo. They've got their menus with sub-menus, a call to action button, which is pretty cool. Their main, whatever they're doing, and then value propositions, go to demos. But let's see what they're doing on this live preview for this one. Okay, so if we take this one apart, looks like they've got a background image of something going on. Big call to action, nice little graphic, menu header up here, call to action, logo on the left for what they're doing, 2 call to actions, watch a video, which is actually pretty cool. So let's see if we can do this. So they've got another header, value propositions, nice little graphics, try for free, screenshots. Let's see how hard it is for us to do this. So number one that we need is we need to come back over here to our, where did it go? Here it is. So let's come over to our pages. Let's go ahead and add a new page. And this is going to be our new home page. So all we're going to do is give it a name of home. First time, whenever you bring up a WordPress website, it'll do this. Don't worry about it. But we want to come over here and we want to click on Edit with Elementor. If it does what I think it's going to do, sometimes it errors out at this stage because we didn't save it the previous stage, but let's see what happens. Elementor, Straw Challenge. Notice that's the same information we had whenever we set it up. Sample page search, so this is just default. Some of the things that I like to do is go ahead and turn some things off. So if we click our little hamburger item up here, oh, no, wrong one. There will be, oh, sorry, down here at the settings, a page title. This is just going to be home. Featured image, that's for social stuff. Page layout, we actually want to do Elementor Canvas, which wipes everything, and we start for free, not for free, with a completely blank slate. So this is what we have, and if we come back over here, on the site settings, I bet you anything under the style, there's a background type, which is a full color. And the color comes from there, but we can change it to make it blue. But if we look at our example, we can actually, let's go ahead and make it white, although I bet you anything it'll be blown away in a little while whenever we do something. So let's go ahead and don't need any CSS or anything, go ahead and publish. There we go. And now if we come back over here and we do the hamburger and we do view page, it should give us strawchallenge.com/home, nothing on it, which is exactly what we want. If we want to take it back over to Safari, which has never been logged in before, we come to this, everything's blank. That's actually a good thing. So let's come back over here. I'm actually going to do 2 things. We're going to have home up, but we're also going to bring another tab so we can see how the world is operating. And we're going to come back over here to our dashboard. And we're going to come back over to our templates. The way templates worked whenever I was working on it before is you may have, these are saved templates and pages, and then they also have sections. And the sections could be like the header where the menu is, pages like what we saw before, but for some reason it's not letting us do this. Let's see what happens if we add a new one. Content type, if we wanted a header, which that's our menu and our logo. We don't have a logo yet. Let's go ahead and see what's going on. This is our little design element area. So we're just going to see what happens if we put a couple of options in. These are blocks. Notice how pretty it makes us. And this one right here looks sort of simple to what we have as the soft up. So let's actually drag this one to this other one so we can go back and forth pretty fast. I'm on a pretty big monitor right now. Usually I work in 2 screens, which really helps you out with what you're doing. So, all right, so we've got logo, menu items, button. So let's see what happens if we come back to this one and find one. Looks like menu on the left, call to action button on the right. Don't see anyone that matches exactly, but you know what? This one looks pretty simple, so let's go ahead and just insert it because we really don't care that much about what it's doing. So we have that. Here's our menu. Notice it's giving us a little logo area. We'll come back and do something like that. And it's actually pulling the menu. It's saying no menus on our menu site whenever we click on it. So we have to go to the menu screen, which is actually back out in the WordPress. So we know that we're going to give it a menu. Let's call it main menu, and save it so that we can then add some items to it. And we can just add, if we want to, home, which is fine. Add to menu, it pops up. And we may want to go ahead and let's add a custom link. Let's actually let's go back up and actually we just want home because we're not going to do too much with it. Okay, so there we go. Now we have main menu. For it to see this, we actually have to, let's go ahead and publish it, which saves it. We want to just go ahead and save it. It's doing it. It's there. Now if we come over here to our blank page that we have in Safari, this is the page, and we actually have to get, so that's the template. Now we have to put the template somewhere. So if we come back over here to our page editor, and we come back over here and we go to Straw Challenge Dashboard, we can now come over here to our page, all pages, edit our home, edit with Elementor because we've got to get back in there and editing it. And then what ends up happening is we can elements. It should give us a couple stuff. So we've got this template, and I don't know what's going to happen, but let's see. Widget, template, this was our header, right? Elementor header, whatever, that's probably what we had. Yep, that's it. We update, and now we go back over to Safari, press a hard refresh. There we go, not very pretty. It does, oh, that's pretty good. It goes ahead and does a mobile render for us, so that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and let's just, let's create a logo. So that's a stretch goal, but let's actually, hell, let's do it. Let's see what happens. So let me make sure no one's commenting on YouTube, or actually feel free to comment for whatever's going on. If we can help out. Comment on Twitter, Facebook, doesn't matter to me. I can respond on the majority of those. And let me check, no one's doing anything interesting on Facebook. Just a second. Okay, there we go. All right, so there we go. Let's stretch goal. We didn't put a logo on there, but let's be a little bit crazy. And let me show you something else that I do. So this Envato Elements does something really cool that they also have logos for you. So the product that we're going to be building and showcasing for what we're doing is called, it's just a bamboo straw. It's a reusable pack of 4, comes in a nice little canvas, and I'll show you that later on this evening whenever I go back home and out of the office. Cleaning brush, all this great stuff, retails for I think $12 Australian, and I'll definitely have a button there. So, but we may need a logo. So let's come over here and let's do let's just search for the word challenge. Not sure what's going to come up here. And they give you photos, which is great. Stock video, we don't need that. Challenge, music, graphics. Notice these are graphics we can do. And let's just see if we get, they also do logos. So if you come over here and you want graphics, the cool thing that they do whenever you search for it, it gives you a sub menu that you can come over here and it's either, sometimes I forget where it is. Graphic templates is what it is. Sorry, wrong one. They keep on adding features, which is really great. Great value for money, $200. Click off logos. All right, any of these we want. Challenge, not really something I like, but let's do something like guide, because this is going to be our main web guide for what we're doing. It's a challenge. I don't know why they have a pig on there. That's a little bit weird. Let's do something where it is, let's do search, or maybe a book. What about straw? No. Bamboo? We may use these later. I like these. Okay, let's, that's almost like a drop bear. Okay, so let's see what we can do. A straw challenge. What would be a straw challenge? Let's do build. Builder construction would be something. Building, don't really like those. Let's do construction and see what happens. Straw challenge, we're building something. Let's see, do I like any of these? None of them are jumping out. So what these templates are is you find one and you can download it and then edit it, and I'll show you how to do that. Home, that's pretty cool. I'm not sure what I think about that. Let's get 2 more pages. If we don't like it, we can move on. What if we could do that? What if we can do... What about an S letter logo? Because we like that. Straw challenge. Ooh, there's a sentinel, so that's like an S and a C. Let's actually do that. That's pretty good. So let's download that. It's for the straw challenge. Access and download. And then once it downloads it, we can add it. Okay, so once we have that, here's our logo. Okay, so let's open this up and I'm going to show you now how to edit a logo because now it says Sentinel, but it needs to say Straw Challenge. And then we're going to make it so that we can use it. So EPS is the what I'll use. So I'll come over here, open with, and I use the free program called Inkscape, which is a open source version of Illustrator. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles because it's a free community that's doing that. But I'll show you how I would edit this, and we're going to make it green because we're doing a green challenge. And we're going to replace Sentinel, and we're going to make it Straw Challenge, and then we're going to move it over to the right. So if the world operates and if tech cooperates, we should now get a way to edit this particular image. And sometimes you have to praise your computer and be like, good computer, give it a little bit of a pet or a scritch, depending on what part of the world you're in. And let's see if it's opening right now. Inkscape, so let me do File, Import. And I have to move it to a different area, which is fine. I can do that. It's not, why isn't it importing? Let's try this again. So come over, oh, I know why. Because the new version of Inkscape doesn't let you access the download folders. You have to copy it somewhere else. So I typically will just right click on it, do a Control C or a Command C, depending on which one you're on. Go to your, whatever it is that your file browser has. And you can come over here and I'm just going to put it in Pictures and Scratch and put it here. And now if we come back over, I bet you anything, if we right click on this, open with GIMP, it should open up because now it has access to it. Before it didn't have access to it. One of those little things you figure out as you continue doing these things. See, yep, so it's initializing, that's great. And if the world works, we should have one of these. So we're about an hour in and we've, unknown file type. It doesn't like EPS. So let's come back over here, do File. Because I opened it up in GIMP, not Inkscape. That's why it didn't like it. So we come back over here to our file browser or Finder, which is on, which is here. We're going to come back over to our downloads, and I need to see the bottom so that I can come back over here to my photos. And that was in my pictures and Scratch. Right click, open with Inkscape, not GIMP. That was an off by one in the menu, which is pretty cool. And then, come on computer, you can do it. Let's see if this other way, File, Import. Let's see if this one works. Oh, I've got two. Why do I have two? One should be our graphic. Where is our graphic? It does not like us. Well, let's try another one. So, File, Import. It should pop up with a little window, hey, what do you want to do? But it's definitely not. All Inkscape file, let's do all files, EPS. It should let it, failed to load. Why did it fail to load? Well, that sucks. Why won't it do it? Well, let's try opening the other one. Sometimes it likes it, sometimes it doesn't. So let's come back over here to our downloads and grab our little logo, which, I don't remember what it was called. And I've got, don't make fun of me for all the downloads I have. It's like my Scratch area, it's all right. So that was logo, I think it was like logo Y or something like that. Logo Y, is that what we did today? Logo Y, it was either of these two. Let's see, is this it? Yep, that's it. Let's see if it'll let us import this. Open with Inkscape. Let's see if this one lets us do it. So we don't need this. Don't need this. That's the way technology works sometimes. You think you can do something and then it pops up with a particular error or something like that, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. It's just something else for us to work through and do together. So don't get upset. Okay, we're a little bit better. So now we come over here, press OK. It's bringing it in there. Raw, raw, raw. That's great. This text, we want to come in here, edit it, and straw challenge. Going to grab that, move it over here. We need to make it bigger. Grab it, hold down this. It'll do it. It'll scale it properly if you hold down the Control key as you go. The color for this, we wanted to make it green because we're into the green business. The straw challenge. There we go. Let's make that black because why not? And the one thing I don't like is the amount of spacing in between all these. So I'm going to double click in this, select it all, and then there's this option that tells us the line in between. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to make it easier on us. I'm going to right click and choose duplicate. We're actually going to have two of these, and on one of them, we're going to get rid of challenge and backspace there. On the other one, we're going to come up and get rid of straw. What that let in backspace there, now they're there. We do that, we can then come over here and it's the straw challenge. See, there you go. Probably an easier way to do it, but you know what, that works for me. If you want to get a little bit interesting and make it all match, which some people like to do, drag these little guides that are coming down. And what you can do, double click or shift click both of these, right click, and then there's a way to group them so that whenever you make changes, it happens to both. So I'm just holding down the Control key. I'm going to make it big. And my goal is to make straw challenge go from at least look a little bit big or better. You know what? I'm okay with that because we're just going quick. So now to export it, you highlight it all. You come over here to, it's actually on the other screen, click on Export PNG Image, and over here on the right hand side, it gives you what you want to do. Image size, it's saying, what do we want to do? We want to do selection, and that is actually huge. So the width, we probably just want it to be, let's say 150 pixels. It'll make it 37. Export as, let's put this here. We want it to go into photos or pictures and then scratch. And let's actually make a new folder here, which is going to be our straw challenge. And once we do that, let's go ahead and name it straw challenge logo.png, I believe. Go ahead and save that. Straw challenge logo, that's great. Export that. And once we have that, if we come back over here to our Finder window, and we come back over to our downloads and our shortcut, I need to figure out how to make a shortcut for that. Go to our straw challenge. There's our logo. You know what? Looks perfect. So now we'll come over here and we'll come back over to our logo that we need to change. And we actually have to do this on this Elementor header area. So if we come over here, click the item. Again, this is in the templates area. And whenever we change this, we have two ways to do it. Site logo, which is one way to do it. And the way that you get that is you go to Appearance and Themes. And 2020, which is the default WordPress site, is definitely there. A whole bunch of people use it. We're not going to use it, but that's fine. Site identity is typically where they have the logo. So you can click on select logo. We're going to drag and drop from this area back over to here. It's going to show us that. Ooh, there's our all default stuff. That's fine. It's asking us to crop it. You don't have to do that, by the way. Click on skip cropping, and now look, that's there. Once we publish it, and then we come back over to our Safari, and if we come over here and press refresh, there, our logo should be there. Perfect. So now we have a logo of a working page. Let's try to put something there that gives the viewers exactly what we're doing. So here we go. So let's go. I actually don't like that search icon, so we are going to get rid of it. So we're going to come over here. This, I don't like it, so I'm just going to click on it. And apparently I can right click on it and choose delete. Update that. Save and close. And now if we come over here to a hard refresh, that's what I do. Signals, hey, go and grab new. And look, that is no longer there. But there's our straw challenge. That's great. With the logo back. Great. So now let's look at how we can let's just put text there and a picture of someone learning or something like that. So let's go ahead and come back and see what we can do. So let's go to here. We're managing Hub. So the way that a lot of the websites are set up, if you look at it, think about everything's in a grid system. So it's like a big check mark or something, or check box or graph paper or something like that. And what we see here is there's actually two columns. So on the left-hand side, you have big, massive text, little text, button, button, and then graphic over here. Let's see what we can do to do this. Let's see if we can, let's just say, let's just call it building a. So one thing that you need to know, it's really hard to be creative and technical at the same time. So typically that's why I look at something, think about what I want it to do, and bring it over and then change it later. If I can get it right, I can always edit the text. So let's come back over here to this area. We can exit out of this because we don't need the header anymore. We're finished with that. Let's come back over to we want to edit with Elementor. And now we want to put in the two columns and see if we could get big text, little text, two buttons on the left-hand side and big picture there. So let's see if we can do this. So the way that this works is Elementor lets you click and press plus. We have this two section area. Column on the left, we said we click on plus again. What do we want? We want some text there. This is our big text. If you remember, I just did that. Drive more sense digital. Let's make it from H1 into H2. Let's see, and let's make the default extra, extra large. What about extra, extra large? Let's do that. So we've got that. We've got some white space, but we'll take care of that again. The next thing that we do is we can come back over here to our elements. And if we want to put in some more text here, we can do it a couple different ways. But now we've got a slight problem is that we need we need another row underneath this, and it always doesn't work out that way. The way that I figured this out is I come over here to the navigator, the little pages on the left-hand side. We're on this column, and we may want to come over here and right-click, and we want to add a new column. But we actually don't want it as a column. We actually want it underneath. So we drag it below, right-click, and let's see if it lets us add something. So click here, text editor, we want it, okay, so it doesn't, there we go. So it's right underneath, that's what we want. If we come back over here, remember dummy text there. And then the last thing that we do is we had two buttons. So we come back over here, we look for button, we click and we drag it below, and then we want another button. So we have two options. We can either right click and duplicate, but it puts it there. What we have to do is now build another column here, and that one wants it to do it there. So we have to come back over here, create an intersection, which we're going to put right below here if it lets us. There we go. And now we can put in these two buttons. So we click, if it lets us, or you can go to the right-hand side for this intersection button. So there's that. It's actually not doing what I want it to do. So there's that. Meet right click, got it. Well, let us do that. Well, let's right click and delete, and let's try this again. So we have a button. Drag it there. There we go. That's what we want. Now we can right click on the right hand side and we can duplicate. And oh, it still didn't do what we want to do. Okay, so we'll just right click delete. This is a part you have to like start figuring out what happens, and sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. So button, there we go. There's our two click here's. A lot of white space, which I typically don't like. So we're going to come up here and we are going to get rid of all this white space. So a couple of ways that we do it is under the advanced, there should be something that tells us the margin and the padding, but it's probably grabbing that from that template we had. So we'll come back and edit that. But I actually don't like the space here. So I'm going to click on this one, click on the advanced, and the margins, I'm going to set to 0, which doesn't do anything for us, but the padding to the top, I'm going to set to 0. And then that brings those buttons up. This button, I'm also going to make it right aligned and let that go here, and that just fills it out a little bit. We're also going to take this container and we're going to click here on advanced, and we're going to make the padding toward the top and everywhere around it 0 and just tighten those things up. We don't need this particular column, so we're going to get rid of that. And we're going to come over here. So we're going to make the text under the style area. So we're going to highlight all that. Text color, highlight it, and we're going to make it green. I don't know what green we want to use, but let's come over here and let's make it a little bit dark. Sure, sounds great. We'll copy that in case we need it again. Actually, let's make it black. We'll come over here. Update, and now we need a photo here. Cool thing that happens with the images, if you click here and drag them, whenever you go over here to choose your image, you can take some of these different items that they have, and we're going to, let's just select that one. Looks good enough for me. There it is. Let's look at our home. They've got a couple different images. Looks good enough and close enough to me. I think we can actually make that image bigger. So if we make it that big, I don't know what it's going to do, but let's update it and see in Safari what she looks like. So shift refresh, we do that. We should have our, oh, there we go. Straw challenge. Now, if you look, that's actually in the middle. We want it far left. So let's see what we can do with that. So we come back over to our Elementor and our header, and you can see it's centered. So let's actually click there, click on left align, update that, go ahead and click on save and close. And now whenever we come back over and click on shift and refresh, that should be left align, looks better, got our home, rah. Click here, nothing should happen because we haven't told the computer to do anything. All right, so let's actually edit the text real quick and see what we can do. Okay, so we did that home, whatever. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. Let's see what our goals were. So it was to set up the domain, create the hosting, create the email, set up WordPress. And we were going to put up a Stripe pay now if somebody wants us to do something. So let's actually make those two buttons do the Stripe thing. So Stripe is a really good, Stripe's a really amazing platform that allows you to accept credit card payments, whatever you want. So it does really well, and they have this one product called Stripe Connect. And what it lets you do is just simply create a product and then let somebody go ahead and pay for it. So we're going to, this is my company I have back in the US. And let's go ahead and let's just view test data. So they have two modes for you. So they have the public one, but if you're playing around like with what we're doing before we make it live, we can come over here and create a product. So if we click on products and we click on add product, it's a one-time product, that's great. Support. So let's make it $1 AUD or dollar support. Description, let's just $1 support. Don't need an image. Price, we're going to make it $1 AUD just to see what happens. AUD, there we go. Save the product. My password that's automatically saved. LastPass, life changer. Go ahead and save it. And once we do that, the last thing we have to do is we have to make sure that we make it that we can link to it and let the pricing, add a price. Adding a price lets you sell this product at a price. Let's see, standard price is just $1 AUD. Because I'm here in Australia, one time, advanced options, don't need that, add a price. And let's see what happens. Okay, so let's see what happens. I think I have to do one more thing in the settings, is I have to enable this new domain for the straw challenge. So let's see what happens. You can do it, computer. So that's on the Stripe checkout is what it's called. So let's come over here. Domains, and let's add strawchallenge.com. And there you go, www.strawchallenge.com, even though I don't have that one functioning. So great. 5 test products to use with checkout. Checkout's client only. You need to use client checkout and server integration. 5 test products, let's see what they are. $1 support, that's great. Right click, let's see what happens if we can link to it. There we go. Use with checkout. There we go. Success URL, we're gonna make it straw checkout, strawchallenge.com, if I can spell strawchallenge.com. And if they cancel, it's going to come back to just strawchallenge.com. And then load Stripe.js on our website. So we have to now download a plugin. So let's go ahead and do that. Ooh, and here's the little button we have. Background button, rah, 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 that's fine. ID, error message. So let's see if it lets us do this. Load Stripe. Okay, not sure what it's going to do, but let's figure it out together. So let's come over here to our particular home page, and let's click here, and on link, click here, link options, custom attributes, we don't want that. It's going to actions pop up. The answer is I don't know how to do that. I wonder if we actually have to do custom HTML. Let's see what happens if we drag this here above that one. There's this. Ooh. So that says checkout. Oh, no. That's not what we want. We wanted the, so there's our button, link button. It should give us some text somewhere. Style checkout button, that's great. Why can't I? How can I find the text of what that one is? Checkout, there it is. So we change this here, and this is $1 support, 80. We don't like that color, so we're actually going to change that. Background color, did I? Nope. Let's see what our color is. Our green color is under style. Green color, so grab that. Come back over here. Our color is here. All right, because we clicked on that, it didn't like it. But we're gonna say forget that. We're gonna update. Come back over here to our page. We should now see a new button that's in green, support OneAUD. If we click on this, it should take us to the Stripe checkout demo, whatever. Apple Pay is enabled, that's great. If we cancel and we come back, oh, it didn't take us back to home because we didn't tell it to. So let's change that. So let's come back over here to our product and let's edit this. Ooh, wrong one. Edit this, and we need it to come back to, let's see where you do it. Edit product. Logs, perfect. Let's see, can we make it change? Edit product. I think that's where we were before, but we need it to advanced options, product description. No. Where do we make it? Ah, I remember. So it's actually in the settings. On the checkout settings is where you change that URL. And 5 text. Ooh, I forgot. This is in strawchallenge.com. Yep, and www.strawchallenge.com. Be sure to save that key thing. And then once the product does that, we click here. It should have a success. We're looking for the success message. It's not on edit product. Let's go back over here. Settings, checkout settings, products, webhooks. We don't want to list the products. Those are there. Branding, next steps. What are branding settings? Nah, we really don't care about that. Okay, so let's come back over here to the settings one more time, and we're trying to figure out where they let us payment methods. I don't think it's that. We just had it where it says checkout settings. There's that. It's enabled. That's great. 5 products to use. $1 support. If we click here, it should let us details. That seems like an odd place to put it. Advanced options. No. That's the same edit, isn't it? That's weird. Pricing. Edit price. Advanced options. So we need the success URL. Where is the success URL? Well, let's just Google. Stripe, change success URL, checkout. redirect to checkout. To use checkout, we created a product and we created a price. You can do through the API. We're not going to do that. Redirect to checkout. In the product section of the dashboard, select the product you want to sell. In the product detail, click Get Checkout Code Snippet. So they hide it from you. So you come over here, you do that, you edit the product, and they're saying you should be able to get the code snippet. But where is the code snippet? Nope. If we click on the product, details, no. Get another price, no. No, not logs, events. Where's the code snippet? So under the pricing, it's under the pricing. Pricing, get checkout code snippet. That's pretty. So here we need it to go home. That's not what we want. Am I on the right one? Yeah, get checkout. Success URL is going to be strawchallenge.com. Success. Make sure that's not somewhere in there. That's interesting. So it doesn't. So I could have changed it there. So once we, so you have to change that where you want it to go over here in your page. So your success is actually strawchallenge.com. So that's the cancel /home because we want them to come back. And then we need to create a success page, but that's okay. We can do that later. All right, let's test it out again. So if we come over here to our home page, which is strawchallenge.com/home, and support, $1 you do to example.com. So Stripe lets you do some success ones, 11, 20, 20, 25, 1, 2, 3, James test, pay Australian $1, process, and it should bring us back to the home page, which would be the success, which we did not create. But if we look at the URL at the top, there's our success. And now if we come back over here to Stripe, we can now see the products. And if we come over here to the products, I bet you anything that now if we go home, it'll say we should have $1 that's been successfully charged. Or I get 72 cents out of that because it's actually 30 cents plus 1.8% or something like that. It actually worked. So now let's make this work and see what happens. Let's see if somebody gives us $1. So is there someone out there that is watching? If you are, thank you. We're just under 2 hours seeing what's going on. And now we get to, let's see if anybody on Twitter is connecting with us. And we get our little button. So let's actually make it let's do $1 Australian. And let's make another product, and let's make it, let's create a new pricing that's going to be $5. Pricing, let's add another price. So let's make it standard pricing. Let's make it $1 USD one time, advanced options, add price. And if we come over here, get code snippet, same thing except for the success URL is going to be strawchallenge.com success and home strawchallenge strawchallenge.com. Home, we copy this, done. We come back over here to our button. We're actually going to put it here. So remember what we did? We did HTML. So we're just going to do this. Actually, I wonder, can we just duplicate this? Right click. Ruh-roh. That's not what I wanted to have happen. Hope I saved it. Because I clicked on it. That's interesting. So an HTML element in Elementor, if you click on it, especially if it's JavaScript like what we're doing, it'll go ahead and complete the process, which is not what we want it to do. So we now get to come back. That should be over on the left. So it still thinks we're in the header, which is not what we want. But let's come back over here to our page, our home page, and let's see how bad we actually messed this up. I hope we did press save on that. I hope we did. Murphy's Law, people. Murphy's Law. Home, edit with Elementor. Oh, there it is. So don't always believe what you say, so we don't get confused. We're going to close out of that one. We're back over here. We're going to look at our little navigator on the left-hand side, make sure we have that. And we're at this section for this intersection for two columns. Column one definitely has our HTML element in it, which is whatever it is. So we're going to click on that. Again, not on the actual button because it doesn't like it. And instead of it being there, we're going to bring it back down to this other button. So it's going to be the second column. There we go. We're going to edit on the left, and instead of, we're going to make it USD, just so that people have, okay, so actually we have to copy and paste it, and it's not going to be checkout. It's going to be $1 support USD. And if you remember, we had to get our correct color, so we don't mess up. We come back over here, we grab our green color, which is that number right there, come back over here to our HTML, change the green color to there. Ooh, that is not the same. Oh, there it is. There it is, dollar support, rah. Let's actually get rid of this other button. Delete, button here, delete. All right, so let's actually edit the text. Join the straw challenge as we build in public. Is it going to okay. We're we've been challenged to drive sales for bamboo straws in public and are documenting the process. The product is on sale. We'll build an e-commerce site and all the back end for use during the challenge. And I don't know the dates of the challenge. That would probably be a good thing. And let's see. Okay. To a digital marketing. Oh, we've been challenged to document a digital marketing challenge using Twitter as the channel. All right, so it looks like let's put dates are going to be time. We've been challenged to document digital. We've been challenged to document. We've been asked. 1, 2, 3. Asked. As I actually use Twitter as the sales channel. We're in our Webby e-commerce site and all the back end for use during the challenge. Back end to sell eco-friendly bamboo straws to the general public. Want to the straws go on sale 5 p.m. Sunday. That is 30th August 2020 and next Wednesday 11:59 p.m. on 2 September 2020. All right, so there we go. So now we have it. Support the cause, rah, 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 whatever else you want. Well, remember we need to edit this a little bit. We need to make it right aligned. I think if we can do that. Border, background, positioning. I don't know if that's it. With position, attributes. Nope, don't know how to do that one unless we grab the column. And the style on the column lets us put it over to the right, which I don't think it does. Layout, horizontal line, vertical line, end. Nope, that's weird. Default, no idea what it is. Good enough for me though. I'm really not gonna worry about it. All right, there we go. So let's actually make this. So once we update this and we go public and we come back to our URL, which is home. All right, support. Let's see if it does it. USD. Rah, rah, rah. Test 1, 2, 3 at example.com. 40. Make this United States. Go ahead and pay. And now we should have 2 payments. Doesn't like the success, but we can definitely do that. Okay, so let's come back over here and see what our, so we're in test mode, which is pretty cool. So now we have 2 sales. That's pretty cool. And if we come over here to our customers, we should see those 2 along with their email address and what we have. Test, example, rah, 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 that's great. I wonder if we need to ask for the shipping information. Let's see. Can you see the shipping? Does it let us do this? Let's see. Stripe checkout shipping address. Let's see if we need that. I don't know if we do. Okay, so you can customize the submit button. Let's do the shipping address. You can collect a shipping address collection when creating a checkout session. You must also specify the countries you allow shipping of allowed countries property with an array of 2 collected shipping address. Okay, so that's not actually what. But that's not actually, can we do that? Let's see, products, dollar support. Can we ask for so we really don't need this right now, but we may be able to use with checkout, that's great. So how would you, cancel URL, learn more about checkout, payments checkout. So how would you, ship. Okay, so it actually creates a secure Stripe phone that lets you collect payments quickly, devices, So we've got their email address. How about we just, how to do it with one-time payments, which is what we're doing. Whoa, Stripe checkout. Well, that's pretty cool. Does it do any localization? What about ship? Do they have that? Ship. You can't access the shipping. Address? No. Let's just not worry about it. We actually don't need it. And we can always email the person. Okay, so there we go. So let's create our last page. All right. So let's create our success page. So that's updated. We don't care about that. Let's go ahead and close out of this. We don't need it anymore. We come over here. Let's exit to dashboard. Nothing changed, so we don't have to do anything with that. And then we come over here, and if we come over here to our pages, we need to do 2 things. Create the success page, and now we need to change the main home page over to this one. So let's go ahead and will it let us duplicate this? Bulk actions, no, you can't. So we need to add a new page, which is just going to be success. So success, edit with Elementor. And then the last thing we need to do is, so there's our header. Again, that's in there, which is pretty great. Actually, I don't think it is. So we spoke prematurely. So if we come back over here to our settings, which is the cogwheel at the bottom, change the page layout to the Elementor canvas. And once we publish that, it should get rid of this. Why is it not getting rid of it? General status published, feature image. Okay, there it is. Now remember we need to add our template, which is our header. So we just search for a template. Click and drag it here. Whenever it asks us what we want, it's the header. Elementor header. We didn't give it a right name, but who cares? There that is. And remember we came over here and we gave it the padding of 0 all the way around, so that it would, we actually had to do this one. It's going to be the advance, and the padding around that is just straight 0, so it's at the top. And we come over here to our entire page. So we need to actually click out of that. How do we do that? Click that maybe, nope. So let's go to, what happens if we update? Does it take that off? We actually need the entire page. Settings, where's the page settings? General settings. Publish style, this is probably where it is. Background type, color is going to be white. There we go. And we need a title on here. Oh, so let's add this. And again, come over here, get rid of our padding because we don't care about that. We're going to come over here and we're going to add a heading. Thank you for your support. And I don't like that color, so we're going to make it black. Come over here. Let's go ahead and let's add another text. Text editor, drag it here. Oh, that's not what we wanted. Thank you for supporting the build in public of the 2020 Straw Challenge. Please share with your friends on Twitter or your other social media network. I can't spell. All right. There we go. Not pretty, but you know what? All right. Let's go back. Okay, so now that's our success page. Let's just see if that comes up in Safari, which said page not found before, which is fine. So click there, press refresh. Thank you for support, whatever. Can we add a Elementor add what are we gonna do? Add redirect. So now after somebody gets the success page, we want them to go back home. Redirect. Actually, let's not do that because it doesn't look overly easy and fast. So let's come back over here. Default H1 and large. Update. There we go. So now at least in the test version, people can give us money. Let's actually make that live now. So if we come over here and we come back, let's go back here and let's see what happens if we switch it from, so we need to take this product, $1 support, copy to live mode. Your product is now in live mode. Go to live product mode. Okay, so once I do that, the question is, at a price, we should already have that. View test data, view all products, dollar support, to prices, pricing. Can we copy that to live? No. Copy to clipboard, so price, so we need to go back and add that. That's pretty sad. I wasn't expecting that to happen. Well, okay, that's fine. So we'll come over to the live mode, view all products, dollar support, and now we need to come over here and dollar support pricing. Pricing is $1 one time, and now we need add another price. That's $1 AUD. AUD. It's a one-time pricing. Rah rah rah. That's fine. So now the question is, if I create this, if this is the AUD pricing, that's up to date. Let's go back to our dashboard and see how someone should update that. So will it, so if I take that pricing, exit the dashboard, you're fine. Here's our success page, but we actually don't want that. We want our page, which is our home. I'll edit with Elementor. And now we get to see how different that code is from one to another. So if we come over here and we edit our button, so rah 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 whatever button, rah rah rah, error message, so stripe, there's our so yep, I do have to change that. So we have to now, since we want it to go live, we now have to capture these different products, and we have to make the pricing whenever we do the code snippet. We have to change these out, which is fine. So it's going to be this is going to be, I would like to know what the differences are. Strawchallenge.com, success, cancel URL, home. This is our AUD one. So let's come over here. AUD is this one. And remember, we have to change the color, which our color is this one. Come back over here, edit it, color goes there. Remember, checkout is $1 support AUD. There we go. Now we need to come over here and we need to do the same thing, but with the USD pricing. So come over here, get checkout code snippet. This is going to be strawchallenge.com, success, that's fine. Strawchallenge.com/home. Copy this, come over here. This is the USD one. I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm gonna put it up here. Then I'm gonna grab this, come back. Our color is this one. So we're going to take that and bring it back up here. Color is that. There we go. Checkout is going to be dollar support USD. And once we do that, we scroll down and we can get rid of the old one. So get rid of that. Now the new one's there. That's the live one, which is pretty cool. And now if we come back over here to our Safari and we go home, we should now see the new button. And if we click on it, it should take us to the Stripe checkout. That's our real one. That's great. It's actually going to ask us for this right now. That's fine. Click on back. Takes us back there. Click on support. There we go. So now we've actually accomplished everything in our stretch goal in less than 2 hours, which is pretty cool. We've got a pretty cool framework. We've been live streaming this, ran into a couple problems. So let's actually see what we did today. And let's share. Let's come back and see what happens. All right, so let me switch the cameras and let's see what happens. So if we come back over, all right. All right, so today what we were doing with the Straw Challenge, which is something that the Smart Hub in Rockhampton, Queensland, here in Australia did, is they're giving us an opportunity to showcase how to build something from scratch and how to reach out to people. There's a couple people involved. Somebody's got Facebook, somebody else has TikTok, somebody else has LinkedIn, and I've got Twitter. So what I'm doing is I'm intentionally building in public to show people how to do this, and maybe that gives us a few sales, we don't know. So the challenge is to sell a pack of 4 bamboo straws to anybody that may want them. But I'm taking a step back. I'm documenting this through what I call the Straw Challenge. So be sure to let us know on Twitter if you're there. Do hashtag Straw Challenge. And today's goal was pretty simple. What we wanted to do is to just quickly showcase how easy or hard it may be to do some of these tasks. And what we did today was we wanted to build a website, and then we wanted to figure out later on a different way to sell straws. So we were able to successfully, and we'll just go ahead and give ourselves little tick marks, we were able to put up a website. And the way that we did that is we bought the domain name, and again, we use Green Geeks, great supporters of the green economy. We were able to set up our hosting and our email. We used Namecheap to buy the particular Straw Challenge. We set it up with WordPress, and our stretch goal was to see if we could take $1 or more from somebody. Not only did we do that, but we were able to integrate Stripe through their Stripe checkout feature, and we have an option that people can purchase just a little item of support. Just donate $1 to this challenge so that we can keep on live streaming and seeing what we have. So we did sort of the Stripe, it's there. We didn't install Google Analytics, but there is time for another day. So it is right now, we've been at this for about 2 hours. This is what you have to do. Just get in there, start something, and that's what we're going to document. So it's about 12:45 right now here in Australia. I'm going to take a break. We'll be back, and our next step, let's actually design out some things better with the website that we can document what we're doing. Let's put the live stream on there so that people can connect with us anytime, and then our historical documents. So there we go. Let me know if you need anything. Otherwise, it's been a pleasure working with you, and let's go out and make great things. Follow more on strawchallenge.com. And how about the next time, let's actually let's create some social media handles that we can do. All right.